Hi guys, my name is Firefly and welcome back to a brand new episode of Timberborn. And this is a special episode because yesterday we have an update dropped. Well, it's an update on the experimental branch. And if you do not know how to get on the experimental branch, check the end of this video. There'll be timestamp below and I'll show you how to get onto the experimental branch. But with that being said, we have new resources, new resource buildings, and new ledger buildings, I believe. So I thought in this episode, we're going to go through most of them. I'm on the experimental platform now. I did a new colony because they don't have creative mode. Not that I know of. So if you know how to get into a creative mode, please let me know. It's on easy just to get things done. And yeah, let's check out all the new stuff. So the first thing in the patch notes, and the patch notes will be linked down below. So if you want to go and check them out yourself, go for it and read through all of it. But we've got new and updated resources. So trees now have a gathering aspect to it rather than just cutting them down. So we've got our forestry over here and I've got a tree section over here that I'm not cutting down. We've got a few new trees as well. Excuse me, not a few, but a new tree called the chestnut tree. So this one you get 4 logs. Let's go into here actually. So you get 4 logs and 3 chestnuts, and it takes 24 days to grow. Now, to gather actual stuff of trees, you need a new building, and we'll get to that in a sec. With the maple, the days have gone up to 30 from 28, and it still gives 8 logs, and it gives 3 maple syrup. And the pine still gives 2 logs, but also gives 2 pine resin. Excuse me. Now, when you do grow a tree like this, it will need to grow first, and then there will be a progress for it to go up and get the resin or the chestnuts or the maple syrup. The other new things that are coming in are cattail and spadadoc. These are 2 new food resources that you can grill actually. Let's take a look at the grill quickly. So if you look here, it has different recipes and they make different productions. So these 2 new food items, the cattail and the spadadoc, are made for underwater food production, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we're going to check that out once we unlock the underwater thing. I've got a lot of science points, so we're going to unlock everything. Another new and important resource, metal. We now have metal deposits. These are infinite resources of metal. And to mine them, you need to have a mine. Makes sense, right? And it needs to be supplied with cogs and a special type of plank. So there's a new type of plank, which we're going to cover in a bit, called treated planks. You give that 1 cog, 1 treated plank, and you will get unlimited metal. But you'll have to keep providing it. So make sure you've got a nice supply of all that, guys. All right. So now we've gone through all the new resources. I believe that's all the new resources. Let's take a look at resource production. All right. So for resources production, I haven't unlocked them because I wanted to show how much they cost before unlocking them. So let's start with this aquatic farm. I do need the special planks, so maybe not. Let's start with the wood. So for this is to gather maple syrup and pine resin. Now to gather chestnuts, you just need a gatherer flag, and you can check here what it wants to prioritize. Or you can just prioritize nothing and it just collects what it can. But if you want to gather maple syrup and pine resin, we need a tapper shack, which is 500 science points and quite a few cogs and planks, but not too many. Let's take a look at that bad boy. Okay, so this is the tapper shack. Now let's see how big. That's a decent size radius. So now that is going to provide me with pine resin or maple or both, and both. So I think first they'll get all this pine resin, then they'll go on to the maple. Now, pine resin is used for recipes, I think like cooking, and there is something at the end what was it? Water? Nope. Leisure. Yes, this observatory needs pine resin. So it's going to be a resource that you're going to need to start farming. But that's that building. It looks nice as well, doesn't it? Yeah, I like the look of it. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is the wood workshop. And that also needs pine resin and planks to make treated planks. Let's put that right here. And there you have it. The place to make treated planks. Wood workshop. I like it. I like these designs. I really like it. I would like to see what it looks like in the INT. And this is going to be taking 10 planks, 10 resin as storage. It takes one of each to make one treated plank. It takes 250 power, so it's quite power extensive. And there is a new change with the water wheels. It's a bit more unreliable, but it makes it more realistic. The flow increases and decreases, and that increases or decreases the power of the wheel. So yeah, you would need multiple different sort of power supplies to keep things up and running now. But that is the wood workshop. Now let's take a look at the aquatic farmhouse. Now this is what makes the new food. Now, I do believe we need access to the water. So we're gonna make some stairs down here. And hopefully we can plant some of the new food. And there you go, the aquatic farmhouse. Now let's take a look at the new food we can make. So we can make cattail. I always want to say cottontail for some reason. And spaddock. Now if I put this up here, it should not grow. It should only grow in water. Yeah, as you can see, they're not trying to farm it. Well, they're not trying to plant it. So that's good. We can't abuse that. But yeah, let's make a few more of that and get that building. And once it grows, we'll see what it looks like. And this is what each crop looks like. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I really like it, yeah. So let's move on to the next thing. Now the next two things is the new metal production. We've got the smelter here, which we can most probably check out. And we've got the mine. Now I'm not near any deposits, so most of you won't be able to place this down. And as you can see, the resources are pretty crazy for it. But there should be a picture coming up on the screen now, what it actually looks like. So we can look at that, and that's the INT version of it. But let's take a look at the smelter as well. And there you have it, the smelter. So that would take 2 metal ore and 0.2 logs to produce 1 metal block. So now we have a way to get infinite resources for metal, which is great because there was a lot of things that metal could be used for. And one of the main things is platforms and bridges. So now we can make a lot better platforms, or a lot bigger platforms and better designs without having to worry about running out of metal. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the new attractions. Now, let's take a look at these. If you go into leisure, we've got 3 new attractions. This deals with fun, and knowledge. So let's take a look at the Lido. We can now have beavers swimming. They can swim in a pool rather than just a lake. Now, how do we do this? Perfect place to relax in the river must be on a river bank. Do I not have enough space anywhere to pull it? Can I put it on there? No, I can't. So it can't go on platforms. Maybe I can pull it here if I delete all this. Let's try that. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Look at that. It's bung that there. Put this like that. There's 1 entrance. It looks pretty cool though. I like it. And that, like I said, deals with fun. Now let's see if there's any special bonus. Where is the fun? Down at the bottom. Lido. So it gives you a 5% extra working speed. So that's pretty cool. We're going to get that down, and while they're doing that, we're also going to get the mud bath down. So let's find a place to put this bad boy. And there you have it. Let's slow that down. Look at that. Having the time of their lives right there. That's pretty cool. Let's screenshot that. Sunbathing. I hope they don't forget their suntan lotion. Right, and the mud bath. So the mud bath is a block high. So you can build it on here, but then you'll need to put stairs going up. But I decided just to put it in the river, so we don't have to worry about building stairs. Now, the mud bath does actually take water to build. And what building needs power to operate? Oh, really now? Well, that is interesting. Okay, let's power this thing. And there you go, a powered mud bath. Look at that. Someone's farting a lot. No, I'm joking. It's just a jacuzzi. That's why you need the power. Excuse me. So, there is one more leisure item that we need to take a look at. And that is the new observatory. That is a big boy, isn't it? I was hoping to put it up here, actually. I guess that's not going to happen. The reason why I wanted to put it up here, because I think it needs power. It does need power. There we go. Look at this bad boy. Now this satisfies knowledge base requirements. It's not that bad to build, to be honest with you. Maybe because I've got a lot of resources at hand. But if we take a look, 200 planks, 50 logs, and 50 maple pine resin. So it's not too bad. And if we take a look at what it satisfies or what buff it gives us. Observatory. What are you going to give us? A 10% working speed. That's a lot. That's a pretty decent amount. And how many people can go in it? Around 8 people. Not around exactly 8 people. So that is all for the new leisure items. Okay, so now we're on to the final building. And the one I've wanted the most. It is a new water building. The mechanical water pump. Now this pump raises water to another level. Now how does it work? You have to build it up onto something like this, I believe. I don't have any space as usual. Say I wanted to pull it like, yeah, so you do something like that. So what that means is we can transfer water from here up to another level, or we can build a fountain. Well, I think we can build a fountain. We're going to try it now. So give me a sec to set that up. And there you have it. My little rudimentary attempt at a fountain. Now, this is the new mechanical water pump. It brings water from down here up here. Once we get a certain flow going, I'm assuming we can pause this because water will evaporate eventually, but I'm assuming we can pause this and it'll just keep going round in a circle. Now let's bring these down to 1.5. Ooh. Let that drain out a bit. Let's bring it up to 2. But that would be too high for that. So I'd most probably need to bring this around more, something like this. They can't reach there at the moment, and I think we would need more what are these called, floodgates, because it seems to bring up water quite fast, and it's only at 36% efficient. Well, it's at 78% efficiency, and it keeps flooding the area. So what's happened to this? It's flooded, it will die. Oh, that is new. Before you could grow trees in that underneath. Oh, I wonder if you can grow berries. Yep, you can no longer put blueberries underwater. So they fixed that bug. You can't plant trees and blueberries underwater, it floods it. and it'll kill it. But yeah, so I'm sure that many more people are going to come up with many more amazing designs. And this would have been absolutely needed when, in my last playthrough with the farm I had, that had the water going underneath, because the farm was below sea level. So if I opened the floodgates, it would just get flooded. This would have been perfect. I could have had a perfect stream of water coming from one of my floodgates and this taking it out. That would have been absolutely perfect. So I'm so glad they added it in, and I can't wait for them to add it into the main game. So that's it. There are a few little things added within bugs and stuff like that. I suggest go take a look at the patch notes and see what's going on with that if you want a bit more detail. Just gonna quickly check if we can do blueberries underwater anymore. Okay, so the last bit I'd like to show you is how to get onto experimental mode. If you right click Timberborn, click the properties, you can go into betas and you can click experimental mode or none, and that will change the version of what you play. If you see at the side here, it will say experimental if you're in experimental. And yeah, just click play and go and enjoy the new stuff, but be careful. Experimental mode can break if they make updates, so don't get too crazy with saving and making a big colony unless you don't mind it breaking the game. And there may be more bugs than the actual early access version. So guys, go and enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.